Good morning, or ohayo gozaimasu from Japan. I drove here last night and I'm keen to show you this awesome campsite at Shikinosato Park in Wakayama. It's also called the Food Hunter Park and it's not far out of town, but I did drive here late last night after work. And my purpose is to show you some amazing goods that arrived on my doorstep, and that's what I promised to show you last week. There are also lots of events happening at the park and it was a lot of fun except for one small incident. But back to where it all began, the arrival of the goods. And this video is sponsored, so I'm going to go through all of the items that I received online and give you some discount codes. Now if you know me, I've been on the hunt for camping goods for a while. Where I live in the countryside, there are no designated camping stores within an hour of me. I could find some camping goods at the hardware store. Most of those items are in fact made in China and they're not made locally. Now when this sponsor reached out to me, they are a Chinese company. Now when I get on the Temu website, I found that the same products were being sold as what I can find in the stores here, because most of the camping gear actually comes out of China anyway. So I'm going to trial and test some of these goods so that you don't have to. Now Temu offered for me to order whatever I wanted off their website, so I took a couple of weeks to do a slow buy and really think about what I wanted, what I'll use. Getting free stuff is always great, but I really want to be mindful about not being wasteful as well. Camping in Japan is expensive, so I was very selective with my items. It's entirely up to you if you want to download the Temu app through the second link in the description box, and they offered $100 in coupons, or you could search their code. Just search the code DQF2672 in the Temu search bar, and this is exclusive for new Temu app users. Now I've also got a link to every single thing I purchased here today, so if you want to have a look at what I bought, you can see everything on this link. I also want to point out there's free shipping and free returns up to 90 days. My package to Japan took around 8 days before it arrived. That was pretty quick. So let's head camping. Now the first thing I'm going to do is get the solar lights and put them out in the sun to get them charged. One of the things that's really important when you're camping is to have good lighting, and I don't want to rely on power. So it's Friday night, I've finished work and I've hit the road and I'm headed off to Shikinosato Michinoeki Park. And first thing I do is go and check out the facilities in the morning. Now Millie and I slept in the van. And now I'm going to head off to have a shower. Now you'll notice I'm wearing a hoodie, and this is one of the items that I bought. Fits me perfectly. I've also bought some camping overalls. I've been on the hunt for these for ages and I just can't find ones that fit me in the shops here in Japan. So these ones were actually a perfect fit. Now because I ordered all of these items from Japan, a lot of the sizings were coming up in Japanese sizes. So as an Australian, I'm basically an XL in Japanese sizes, and it does depend on the top or bottom, but the website does give you all the different measurements and things like that. So it has been pretty accurate. All of the clothes that I purchased fitted me perfectly as XL size. Now you might think these overalls look a bit short on my leg, but I've actually rolled the bottoms up just so that they don't get caught. The ground was a little bit wet. So I have bought a ground sheet, and this is really great because it has peg holes. So I want to be able to peg the sheet with the peg holes away so I don't trip on them or anything. So it's got the rope and the peg holes there. Great when it's a little bit wet. Next up is Millie's little pen. Now the pen that I did have was just a tad too small and I couldn't quite fit everything in. And another point that's really important when you're camping in a van is everything has to be light because I don't want to carry heavy items. So this pen now, it fits Millie's little litter tray and her fluffy blanket and her food. So she's been waiting patiently in the van, but she really wants to be outside where all the action is happening. So I've popped her outside so she can watch all the little birdies and the people walking around. And I just put a blanket over the top because it is actually a little bit cool. This one is a game changer. Again, light, so it's easy for camping, but this is going to actually change my life when I'm camping, because you wouldn't probably think about this, but when you're camping in a car, you can't really stand up to get changed. It's really complex. So having this as a change room was something I really wanted, and I couldn't find it in any of the shops here. Next thing, I want to be able to free camp, so having a toilet is going to be really important. Now, this toilet comes with a black plastic bag that you put inside and a coagulant, so you can do your business and then the coagulant just sorts it all out. Wrap up the bag and then you can throw it away. I also found, just happened to be searching all the camp goods, this cute little toilet roll holder, and if you're into camping you'll know things get wet and dirty really easily, so having a toilet roll cover will stop your toilet roll getting soggy. Great facilities, and very grateful for this new stand-up tent. So it's about 9 o'clock in the morning and the bakery smells have been wafting over to me all morning, and I've got to go in and check out this shop. This road station is amazing. Imagine having freshly baked bread and hot coffee just on your doorstep. I didn't bring anything for breakfast because I had checked on their website beforehand, so I'm going to have their pizza toast and a hot coffee to get me started for the day. It's going to be a huge day because the events here are going on late into the night, so I need my energy because I've still got a lot of setting up to do of my campsite. So this is what it looks like now. There are a lot of people out and about setting up things. So I'm also going to set up my new fire pit, and I've been eyeing this off for ages. It is a little bit of a puzzle to put together, but it took me just a couple of minutes to figure it out, just looking at the picture, and then everything else seemed to fit together really easily. It's very sturdy, which I think is going to be important if you're running a fire on it. A lot of campsites that I've stayed at have said that they don't want any fire on the ground, so this is a great way to get the fire up and off the ground and not damaging the environment around you. Because the matting is mesh, you get good airflow underneath, so actually it was super easy to get the fire started. Right next to my campsite, they are also starting a fire. Well, this is actually a charcoal fire because there's a very special event happening, and that is the cooking rice on bamboo. So everyone around me is getting their fires started. It is super cold. Now this awesome little gadget, it's a magnet with a carabiner hook on it. And I got this in a pack of 10, and why I need this is to set up my lights for the night. So I bought these gorgeous waterfall lights that I'm going to run along the side of my awning. Also, when I'm cooking tonight, I want to be able to put one of those big solar lights above the cooking station so I can see what I'm doing. So these are the ones that I charged up yesterday in the sun, and I'm just going to put them on top of my car roof now as well, just to give them a little bit more extra charge and see how long they last tonight. Solar lights can be a bit hit and miss. So I'm drawing a lot of attention to myself here with Miss Millie walking around and a bit of my car set up. Trying on some of the items that I ordered, but every few minutes someone's coming up to me to say g'day, and I absolutely love that about living in Wakayama, Japan. Everyone is very, very friendly here. So this is just another local, and we got to know each other, and we had a nice long chat about solo camping in Japan because she also does solo camping. So we shared our details, and hopefully we'll run into each other again at another spot. Just as we were talking, the wind picked up and my camera nearly went flying. It's getting really cold now. So the bamboo rice making is all action stations, and there's so many people coming here to have a look at how it's done. So you just cut in between the noggins of the bamboo, put in your water and your rice and sit it on the coal, and it's going to cook your rice to perfection. And apparently it gives it a nice bamboo-y sort of flavour. So the bamboo has to be green, or they call it blue here, so that the bamboo doesn't catch fire and burn. And look at this. This is hot cooked rice made inside of bamboo. How amazing is that gonna taste?
お焦げができてて美味しそう。
美味しそう。はい。
あ、そうなん
そうです。
オ
そうです。
ーストラリアから来られた。
はい。
あ、そうなんです。
Alright, it's later in the day now and it's definitely time for another outfit change. So here I am modeling my hoodie and new bag, which is super cute. Self-rating, I'm afraid. But here I am off to the nighttime events because the sun is just about to go down and that's when all the action is happening. And this is Bubble Man, and he's just started his rehearsal for the big show tonight. Even during the daylight, the bubbles were absolutely amazing, and I've never seen such big bubbles in my life. As the evening's getting on, all sorts of families are arriving, and food trucks, of course. You can't have an event without some food trucks to keep you going. People were madly running around with lighters now, trying to light all the candles inside the bamboo and these little paper cups. And all the cups were designed by students at the local schools. It's starting to look like a magical wonderland. And I'm headed back to the car now because I'm going to start cooking my dinner before all of the events start. So my fire is running nicely. That's been running all day because I really wanted to test this fire pit out. And all of the solar lights are absolutely working a treat, and it's my own little magical wonderland now. So let's get cooking. I'm going to start with making some sweet potato, baked sweet potato, because I've got this wonderful fire going. I managed to find this special foil, which is just for satsumaimo, which is sweet potato in Japan. And it's got a black side on one side, which is the side you put in the fire, and just normal foil on the other side. So all you have to do is wrap up your sweet potato and throw it into your fire pit. On the packaging it says it'll take between 20 and 60 minutes to cook, depending on how fat your sweet potato is, I guess. I'm going to leave mine in for a little while as I get to cooking my dinner. So I've got some bulgogi, some Korean style beef. I've hooked up my solar light. Check it out. I'm using one of those magnet clips and look how much light I'm getting in my kitchen. I'm really happy with the way this has worked out. Everything I've ordered is working perfectly, so I've got no complaints. I can hear the action happening over there, so I'm going to eat my dinner and head back over to check out some of the bubble shows at night. It really was truly magical. I don't think the camera can do justice to the sight that I saw with the lights lighting up the bubbles, and some of the bubbles were just massive. And this is where I had my little accident, staring up at the bubbles. I had the camera in one hand and I was getting truly mesmerized by the size and the glow of the bubbles. Just like that, I landed on my wrist, and I probably sprained my wrist, a little bit sore. So back to the campsite now, a little bit embarrassed, but I'm getting that sweet potato out of the fire, and check this out. It is cooked to perfection. Probably left it in a little bit too long because I was having too much fun over there, but absolutely delicious. Nice way to end the evening. So of all the things that I ordered, what was your favorite? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. See you next week. Bye.